It is a beautiful Friday morning, and this is the Grizzly Den.
Oof.
Oof.
I could have sworn, James, that you're not really supposed to cut songs off in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. I probably shouldn't, but we're already a late start, and I don't want to start any later.
Yeet.
So this is 2 weeks in a row where you and I just seem exhausted for the show.
Yeah, man. And sometimes that just happens.
I apologize. This is really loud. Oh my god, it's beautifully quiet.
This is I didn't even realize this was adjustable. Wow.
Yeah, it is.
We got new mic arms in the booth here, and I was raising them and lengthening them to my liking, and it did not make noise. That's what James and I are talking about. Also, new headphones, and a new breakfast in my tummy.
Do you want to talk about that?
I mean, yeah, that's why we were late. So
It was good.
yeah, it was all right. Yeah, breakfast burrito for you and an omelet for me.
I like Sodexo breakfast.
I mean, it's cafeteria breakfast. I don't know what you want. I'm happy I got an omelet to order.
Yeah. Are you happy they didn't just bust out a frozen omelet and throw it in the microwave for 2.5?
Yeah, that would have been awful. I can't even imagine that happening, actually. But all the same, yeah, I can't kind of imagine that happening.
Hi, can I get an omelet? Yeah, what do you want in it? What are my options? Well, we have plain. Plain? You mean with nothing? No. Plain.
Not that.
Not that. What else do you got? We've got
Meat?
meat. What kind of meat? Assorted? What?
Omelet.
It-
Meat. Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Not that either. And vegetarian. What do you mean vegetarian? Those are your options, man. Quit giving me a hard time. Plain meat, vegetarian.
How's there a vegetarian omelet? They're eggs.
Well, that's vegan.
Sure. Yeah. They're eggs. What?
No.
What?
Whatever. It's 10:05, yeah?
It's 10. It's almost 10:10.
Oh wow, good start.
I told this kid 10 minutes ago before we normally would start. I was like, "Hey, we're on," and he goes, "No, we're not. I have to finish my omelet."
Yeah.
And he's 3 bites in.
Yeah, well I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Nazarowski, if he was listening.
Yeah, big. We haven't given shout outs in a long time. I don't know who listens to us anymore.
My dad might listen to us. I could imagine maybe he does.
Big yeah. Finn's dead.
Big yeah at Ian James if he was listening.
Shout out to Finn's dead though.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Ian James. I didn't send my usual weekly snap today.
That's all right.
So
Yeah, but Ian James so you and I were listening to our old recordings.
because we're narcissists.
Yeah, yesterday. And we played the episode of our top 10s with the Game of Thrones characters. And we got the Ian James call in, and he was like, "Yeah, I saw on James's Snapchat, but I listen to you guys when I can, every time." And we're like, "Oh,
Yeet.
nice." So yeah, Ian James, if he's still around, very nice. So yeah, you just feeling the music here?
Kinda. I'd be totally chill with cutting it halfway through and just popping some lo-fi for a bit.
Yeah, man.
I might be game for
Oh, Dad was listening. He said thanks for the shout out.
Oh,
hey,
cool.
Dad.
Hey, look at that.
All right, cool. Well, let's jump into
You want to start it
to
off?
our docket. Yeah.
Okay. So, Finn, there's a game that you might have heard of.
Okay.
It starts with a D.
Oh man, yeah.
One of the words is dragon.
I'm thinking of all the games that start with dragon that I can throw you off the loop here.
How many can you?
I'm blocking because I'm thinking of a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards right now, and that is not what that's not what we're trying to do here.
Give me a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Well, I was thinking Dragon's Rage, which is actually a trap card.
What's it do?
Dragon's Rage. Okay. So you activate the trap card, then you can tribute a dragon type monster off your side of the field, so destroy it. And then all monsters on your opponent's side of the field with an attack equal to or less than that monster's attack are destroyed.
Neat.
Yeah, neato, my guy.
No, I'm talking about Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, that's actually still not where I thought you were going.
I know.
Oh, okay.
So, you ever played Dungeons and Dragons before?
No, I played Pathfinder though a couple times.
Jesus. Okay. What's Pathfinder?
All right, man. Well, given that you seem like you're kind of like a
Instigating a conversation.
like you're like an amateur here, so
Yeah,
I'll let you know. So Pathfinder is it's like Dungeons and Dragons. No, I'm kidding. Pathfinder's
no,
like
it is objectively Dungeons.
yeah. No, I was trying to make a joke about it. Whatever. The point is, it's a game you play with your friends. Everyone role plays as a character in some fantasy environment that somebody made up. One person
Continue.
refreshing. Somebody tells a story, and the other players get to kind of use their character and play along inside that story. They can meet new characters, explore dungeons, solve mysteries. Basically, it's like Scooby-Doo, the game, with a lot more like fighting and less meddling kids.
We should do a Scooby-Doo campaign.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway,
The
but James and I were
hilarious.
doing some Pathfinder stuff yesterday.
Yeah, so Finn and I have played Pathfinder. You okay?
I just dropped my phone a little bit, yeah.
So Finn and I have played Pathfinder a couple of times together. He played with his brothers once,
Mm-hmm.
and I've tried playing with some of my friends out in Crystal Lake. I think we talked about this way back when.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an incredibly interesting storytelling method in that you can go about writing a conventional fantasy story, but the things that limit you aren't like standard, don't be too reliant on cliches and tropes, but instead the things that limit you are the reactions of other people. You slay the dragon, the princess comes out, "Oh, thank you for saving me." I hate princesses. What? Yeah, I hate princesses. I stab her. What? Yeah. But you just killed the dragon for her. No, I killed the dragons. I love killing dragons. What?
I killed the dragon so that the princess would come out so that I could kill the princess.
And then no, but then your whole story is like, well,
Let me see. Okay, so you kill the princess.
I got nothing here.
What do I do here?
You guys want to go play board games? What?
I mean, you see, the problem was that the princess was supposed to transform into the main boss of the game, but only after being corrupted by this like curse that would come into the castle in the form of some gray mist. But that didn't happen because she didn't go home because you just killed her. So, you win.
Have a great rest of your summer. I hate you. No, but I think it's a neat example of interactive storytelling, much in the same way that a video game is, where the player has a certain level of control of how the story plays out. And I think that's neat.
Yeah, man. James and I spent
We were up way too late last night.
many hours thinking of a new campaign that we're going to get started, hopefully with our friend Michael, my older sister, and then hopefully the little kids in my family, Asher and Emerson, who are 10 and 6 respectively.
I'll try and convince Christine to play.
Yeah? Well, she would have listened to like the entire campaign pitch.
She wasn't listening. She doesn't care.
Here's what'll happen. She'll look at them if she plays. She'll look at the map and she'll go, "Oh, Hollyhurst. Oh, no kidding. The Pale. I remember these. Where do I know these from?" The joke being that she was in the room and we were thinking of geographical names.
We didn't really talk story. We talked story structure, but we didn't talk like story. So yeah, that's another thing that's really cool about D&D is Finn and I are working together. Usually there are 2 roles you can have in Dungeons and Dragons /Pathfinder /Starfinder /any tabletop
iteration
role-playing
of
game.
yeah.
Most are produced by Paizo or Wizards of the Coast. But we are both the two roles you can play as are either the DM or as a player. The DM is the dungeon master. They're the ones who write the stories. They're the ones who choose the monsters. They're the ones who build the session and the adventure that the players will go on.
Control the enemies, the
Yeah.
non-player characters. Yeah.
The players make their own unique character,
Mm-hmm.
and they're the ones whose agency pushes the story forward. The story forward. I'm really tired.
Yeah, actually, me too.
Like, I'm normally not this tired for the show, but I've been waking up at like 11 all week. We don't finish the show till like 11.
What are you gonna do? Sorry, man.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever, man.
No, but so Finn and I are working together to both be the DM, which I think is a neat idea. Big shout out to Michael Mondi if he's listening, because you pitched this to me like 6 months ago, and I said no, that's big dumb, and then you got sad. So I take it back. I just wanted Finn to pitch it, not you.
Haha.
No, but I also think that as a person, I've matured a lot over the past 6 months.
Yeah, maybe.
He's blowing raspberries at me and making faces. Anybody listening, please send help. Someone's scrolling through channels, and that's all they heard.
Someone please. They heard, and then they're like, "Whoa, what was that?" Send help. Yike. Well, cool. We have the same idea.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. Collaborating has been cool because we can both afford to be creative, and then we both offer like iterations of each other's creativity so that it will kind of like snap more in place and create an environment that we want for the story.
Yeah, and what I like is I spend a lot of time watching video essays online on how to go about quality writing, what are tropes to avoid. I spend a lot of time thinking about how to write a fantasy story because it's something that I also take enjoyment in.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of fun for me last night to be able to show Finn different story structure ideas and introduce him to the idea of the hero's journey and some really cool foundational writing.
Yeet.
So I'm really excited.
You want to get into a different talking point, given that we did 10 minutes on that one?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty dense point, though.
Sure.
So the second one, what is it? It's Dragon's Dogma, right?
Yep.
Do you want to do that?
That is not my game to talk about, my dude.
So have you ever heard of this game?
No.
Have you ever played this game?
You tried to put the controller in my hands 3 times yesterday, and I said no.
Why didn't you play?
Because I didn't want to.
This kid made fun of my character because he uses magic and has daggers, and he saw I used magic and went, ugh.
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, of course.
How are you gonna disrespect me like that in my room?
Magic users are silly.
I'm int dex, so
Dexterity and magic users are silly.
anyway, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is a role-playing game. Unlike D&D, which is a tabletop role-playing game, Dragon's Dogma is a video game.
Mm-hmm.
It has a really kind of semi-generic story. It's pretty standard as far as an RPG goes, but it has some really unique elements that make it stand out in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
The combat system is incredibly fluid. A big part of it is you're able to climb and jump and grab onto enemies. So when you're fighting a Cyclops that's 3 times as large as you are, you can jump and grab onto its face so that you can, stab it in the big eye. And I think it makes for a really neat gameplay style and a neat core gameplay loop. Are you familiar with that term?
Core gameplay loop?
Yeah.
No.
So,
I know what the loop is, but not in relation to video games.
Monster Energy. Delicious.
I was gonna say you should definitely do an ad.
Can we do live ads on the show?
I mean, that'd
for
be kind of a funny
people
thing to
that
get
don't
into.
sponsor us.
Yeah.
Nike, just do it.
Yeah. No. But you have to butcher it so that it's not an ad.
Nike, do it just. Wait.
Yeah, that's fine. Nike. Do it.
Monster non-energy. Wait a second, I added something there. Rockstar Energy. No, that's not right.
Monster Energy. You can drink it.
It's food.
Very good.
Very cool, Kanye. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good meme too. You know what? Let's just tangent this. So we were listening to like a bunch of our shows. Because we save our recordings to Google Drive, right? And we listened to parts of the Game of Thrones top 10s, parts of the meme top 10s, and that's what I'm getting at right here. The meme top 10, we picked our like 5 favorites at the time, thinking that like those were our like favorite memes. And we did reach back to find memes that we liked. But
have you heard of the high elves?
Yeah, exactly. But if we were to make that list again, I think it'd be different.
I can agree with that. I think
isn't that cool though?
Yeah, I think that lends to the idea of a top 10 list is something that can really only happen the once, because then it needs to change and be updated, you know?
Yeah. Well, not really.
Here. Let me loop this back around to Dragon's Dogma.
Okay.
Dragon's Dogma is one of my favorite games of all time. I think that the gameplay, like I said, so real quick, I totally got off point. I'm very tired, so I apologize.
Yeah, I saw you doing this. Your eyes closed.
I'm snoozing over here.
Yeah.
No, but Dragon's Dogma. So a core gameplay loop is the regular gameplay style. So for a first-person shooter, it's going to be spawning in, shooting your gun, moving around. For a game like Skyrim, it's going to be exploration and combat.
Yeah.
For a game like Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, it's going to be a lot of dialogue and intrigue and conversation. But what's neat about Dragon's Dogma is I think the core gameplay loop is really strong in that it's acquire a quest, inquire about the quest around town, talk to NPCs who might know something, and you know whether they have a marker that says yeah I know something, or whether it's a random person who you accidentally talk to that's like, did you hear about Gretchen and the cult? And then you're like, oh cool, Gretchen's in a cult, I'm hunting a cult right now. And then you go and you find out, oh hey, you're Gretchen, and you're like, well, that's really, that's neat that this is how I learned about it. So you acquire a quest, inquire about a quest, and do a quest. And I think it makes for a strong game because there's a lot of times where you feel very much like you're in town to restock, resupply, and leave.
I like that.
Because I think a lot of games, they get bogged down in the idea of every location needs to matter. There's a lot of areas in Dragon's Dogma that's like, there's a hill with harpies on it. Go kill the harpies. And you're like, yeah, okay, I can do that. So then you go, kill 20 harpies at Grosbane Hill. And then you come back and the guy's like, oh, thanks. And then you go back there and you're like, well, this is still the harpy spawn area. Whoops. But I'm again getting sidetracked. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm sleepy. I really like the game because I think the combat added to the core gameplay loop. And on top of that, I really like the storytelling style.
Okay.
Makes for an interesting and intriguing RPG experience. Now, you mentioned how tangentially we set up our top 10s list and how they're adaptable and they should change over time.
Right.
Well, I played Dragon's Dogma for the first time about 5 years ago. When I was 14 is when I got it. I played it, liked it, wasn't a ton into it. My first experience was with a demo of it in 2011 when it came out, and I played it on my PS3. Thought it was weird. So I was 12.
You were big young. You were Lil Young.
12. But then I played it when I was 14 or 15, and I liked it a lot more. I was like, this is a really cool story, and I like the characters. Then I gave it to a friend of mine because he's a big Dark Souls guy, and the gameplay, kind of reminds me of Dark Souls. It's got a very challenging feel to it.
All right.
But fair and not like punishes mistakes, but is willing to let you learn. And I was like, hey man, try this game. So I let him borrow it. He really liked it, but he ended up moving to Texas. So, R.I.P. Then I got the game on my Steam wish list for the past couple of months. Saw it on Steam. I was like, hey man, this is a good game. I remember this. So I added it to my Steam wish list, and finally, last week at the start of the Steam summer sale, all 3 of my games went on sale.
Nice.
For a total of maybe $30. I got a 60+ hour RPG, The Binding of Isaac Rebirth, which, much like I said about the first game, I'll put 1,000 hours into that.
Yeah.
And I got Subnautica.
Oh, okay.
So it's been a good Steam summer sale. Very
nice.
But I like Dragon's Dogma. It's got an incredibly in-depth character customizer. It's open-ended enough in the way that you make your character that it really can be your story. That the main storyline happens and you take part in it, but in my own head, I was still a unique character, you know? I wasn't the hero. I was Magnus. And I was into that. But why this is adapted over time is because if you asked me 2 years ago, what's your favorite RPG? I might say something along the lines of Oblivion, Dragon Age Origins, Dark Souls. If you asked me last year, I'd be more inclined to say Dark Souls, Oblivion, Skyrim. Ask me now, Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, Oblivion, Dragon Age Origins. So it's neat to see how, that changed over time.
Right.
But there were still things that stayed constant. Similarly, a thing that stays constant is 88.3 WHCM Harper Radio.
I was going to cut you off and do that myself.
Which is the station we're on right now. It's a broadcast station of Harper College's Board of Trustees out of Palatine, Illinois.
Actually, it's an award-winning station.
It is an award-winning station.
Of national recognition.
National
recognition.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Is there anywhere else they could be listening?
Yeah, if they wanted to be listening like James's father on harperradio.com or perhaps on the Radio FX app, they can just stream us that way without tuning in on the radio. They could also check us out on harperradio.com. We might be getting a new website up soon. That's pretty cool. YouTube at Harper Radio, Facebook at Harper Radio FM, Instagram at Harper Radio FM, and you can hashtag Harper Radio.
You didn't plug the subreddit.
Yeah, or the Twitter, because I don't think we use it. So
I plug the subreddit all the time.
Yeah, because it's funny.
But no one's ever going to use that.
No, of course not.
It's listed as a training subreddit. It says, like, it originally it said, like, for members of WHCM to, like, collaborate on new ideas. And I was like, yike.
Oh.
Let me finish my point about Dragon's Dogma real quick. But I like that my RPG list stayed the same in some ways, but adapted over time. And I think that lends itself to a top 10s list in general, that I think you would get something along those lines, where anytime you define the things you truly love, as you grow, change, and appreciate things differently, I think those things change, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
It's an awesome game. It's like $30 if people out there have money and like RPGs.
Then get Skyrim.
Don't get Skyrim. Skyrim sucks. Get Oblivion or Dragon's Dogma or Dark Souls or Dragon Age. Any of them except
wait
Dragon
a
Age
year and see what Bethesda does about.
Yeah, if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out next year, get that.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be good. You just should own that.
Yeah. Well, cool enough.
Yeah. I'm sorry that was like a long kind of rambly tangent. I'm super sleepy. And I'm like...
Well, you seemed sensible.
Yeah.
You weren't going, yeah. So, I mean...
Can I get a...
Are you ready? Yeah. James, you silly goose.
Yeah. I know what you want. Say it out loud. Borger.
I didn't say it still.
Quality meme. I'll find it. I'll find it.
I don't want it. I don't want your meme.
It's not my meme. It's Billy's meme.
I want it. Shout out to Billy as well.
Big yeah at Billy. He doesn't listen to us anymore because he works, but he did for a long time. And he hopefully will once he's back at ISU.
Very nice.
He's actually in town right now.
No way.
Yeah, he's down south at his mom's. He's like 2 hours away. But he's in Illinois.
That's closer.
He hopefully should be coming up maybe like on Monday. Do you want to hang out with him if he's up here?
Huh.
Do you want to... If he's up here not on Monday, do you want to catch ramen?
On Monday?
On Tuesday. It's closed
with him.
With the bill sticker.
Yes.
Okay. So, you got in trouble at work?
Oh, yeah, let's do this one. Yeah, so I got in trouble at work last week, and I'm still in, like, hot water a little bit.
It's a good expression.
Yeah. But, like, nothing's wrong right now. So, basically, I guess it was only last Sunday. It might have been 2 Sundays ago at this point. Yeah, it was 2 Sundays ago at this point. The AC was out at work. And the temperature on the line was measured, the air temperature at, basically it was 92. And then because it's an air temperature reading, you have to allot a plus or minus 3 degree temperature, which I learned at my serve safe class, which I passed, by the way. I got the email.
Woo!
So basically it could have been anywhere from 89 to 95 degrees on the line. And then if you say, oh, I'm working the grill, then you could say, oh, well, it's probably that much hotter, or I'm over the fryers, it's that much hotter. So basically everyone was sweating and it was absolutely miserable. The guests were like, are you guys gonna be okay? Like, they like multiple guests, probably even close to 10, like, showed concern. I was funneling people out the door to get water breaks. I was dying myself. 2 kids had like big like sweat marks on their shirt like within 15 minutes of working. And so I tried to get I called Apollos about it, and he listened, but he didn't take it that seriously. And I wish I had called him back and said, actually, no, it's absolutely miserable here. Can we do something about it? But I did the bad thing, and I closed the store early because I thought that was going to be the good call, and I kind of wanted to, because nobody wants to work in that. Anyway, so I got in trouble, and they basically said, yeah, I get it. I think you probably made the right call for, like, morale. And this is Apollo saying that to me. He's like, I think you made the right call for, like, safety and morale, but you don't have the authority to just close the store, because I also do not have the authority to just close the store.
Yeah, so when I worked at Five Guys with you, I have a similar story. Me, Roger, and Eric, this is before Roger was a shift lead, were chilling. And it was 8 o'clock, and no one had been in the store since I got there. Like, it was dead.
Oh, was it the winter time?
It was like November. But it was like it was the winter, because I remember it was snowing real hard.
Okay.
And it was about 8:45, and no one has been in for 4 hours almost. So labor is like 300%.
Wow.
It was bad.
Oh, yeah, I've never heard about this story.
We called Apollos and we're like, hey, listen, no one's been in, and the snow's piling up, and we don't know if we're gonna be able to get our cars out. So Apollos is like, okay, yeah, let me call Steve. Let me find out what's going on. We get a call from Steve, and he goes, hey guys, I understand the situation, but you have to stay there. And me, Roger, and I were, aw, shucks.
Yeah.
Probably didn't say shucks. But, are
we?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But, like, as we hung up the phone, about 3, private company snowplows rolled up, and 6 of the coldest 23-year-old dudes I've ever seen in my life shake their way into the store, and they're all like, can we get some fries? We're like, yeah, you can get some fries.
Thanks.
So they all got some fries.
Thanks for giving us our $15 of business so far.
And then
now our labor's at 280%.
Right. But then they got their fries. A couple of them got burgers, and they got a whole meal. And they were sitting there, and I was like, so are you guys the only ones on the road right now? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, we should have closed the store. But it was weird. Like, as we hung up the phone...
Yeah, they rolled in.
They rolled in.
Could you imagine getting the call from Apollos as your Steve saying, hey, my store hasn't gotten any customers since 4:30. And then Steve calls the store, like, hey, I understand the situation. Oh, actually, Steve, I have to go. 6 customers just walked in the door. Could you imagine that?
Oh my god.
He'd be like, okay. And he'd just wait patiently. And then he'd be like, okay, you're not closing the store.
It was a rough day. I remember Apollo's talking to the three of us and being like, you guys, I appreciate you guys asking, but like, it's poor form. It was Eric, so.
I don't think Eric did anything bad. Anyway, I got in trouble at work for that. That was the title.
Yeah,
Work
I'm sorry.
trouble.
I'm sorry to have stolen your spotlight
No.
a little bit.
It was relevant and funny, and that's what the show's about. Except our show's about being irrelevant and funny. Nice.
So I found my watch.
Yeah, we cleaned your room yesterday.
Because it's irrelevant and funny.
Yeah, James and I started hanging out around probably like 6 yesterday.
Yeah, we hung out at the station most of yesterday.
Yeah.
And then we got out pretty late. We got out at like 5.
Yeah, because I was on. Oh, here you go. In order to, let's go on another tangent. In order to appease my superiors and try to climb out of my hot bath of hot water, I was on a conference call with all of the Five Guys MODs, which is manager on duty, and some of the general managers of all the stores in Steve's district, who's the district manager, who weren't working at the time. So I was on a conference call with probably like 25 people, and then I just stuck earbuds in and muted myself and only talked when I was spoken to.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, that's the real deal. But that started at 4 and probably ended at like 4:40 or 4:45
Yeah,
or something.
Eric. So the program director for Harper Radio for WHCM is our good buddy Eric. Eric's a super cool dude. Would you say so?
Oh, absolutely.
And him and I have been trying to organize CDs, reorganize our equipment library, the works. We've been trying to get this place spick and span and ready for the fall semester so we can onboard people and really get it going.
Yeah.
So that's good. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
And since Finn was on a conference call, we like had the music turned down and we were speaking in ASMR voices.
You didn't have to. I was muted.
No, I know, but it's like rude.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And then Noah came in. And like as Noah
like,
came
"What's
in,
up?"
he was like, "Hey, what's going on, guys?" And you were like, "What's up, Noah?" And me and Eric were like, "Oh my god, he talked." You hadn't said anything in like 28 minutes. You just been clicking in League of Legends. I don't think you were in a game. I think you were in training playing Aatrox being sad.
Yeah, I was.
Aatrox rework sucks, by the way.
Yeah, anyone who listens last week, they heard my spiel, but it came out.
It's worse than
and
we
it's worse
hoped.
than we thought. And they nuked the core of his kit, and I was actually crying 2 nights ago, and I sent an email to Riot Games talking about how sad I was and how they messed up this time. And yeah,
That's rough.
it is rough.
It's hard to admit when your favorite game does something poorly, you know?
Yeah.
You want to, because you always want to defend it. You want to be, no, Riot gets it. You know, they listen. They're good devs. And then they do stuff like this, and you're like, wow, that's really unfortunate.
So I think I have a lot of like good talking points of how they messed up here, but anybody who had played more Aatrox than me got hit way harder.
I think the caffeine in these monsters hit us both.
Oh, because I'm sitting up in my chair
Because you're
now.
sitting up, my eyes are open.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, how could this not have been 40 minutes ago?
It's funny how that registers with both of us, though. We're like, yeah, actually, we could probably do the show. Let's just start the show at 10:40. Here's our time span. We both do a monster and eat omelets from 9:55 to 10:05 because our show totally didn't start at 10 a.m. And then we do 35 minutes of just, so, yeah. And then we just, as soon as we're like, actually, yeah, so this is funny too, and also, and then from 10:40 to 11:40.
to 10:45, and then we do a music spotlight.
Oh yeah,
man.
because we can't, because Air Unlimited, our station neighbor, hey there,
Our
neighbor.
time slot neighbor.
Yeah. is coming in
We've
20
talked
minutes.
about them a little bit before. Finn got me into wrestling a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And like I'm hardcore obsessed. I can't help it. When I get into
Oh my
stuff, I get
goodness.
really into stuff.
Maggie and Michael came over to visit and kind of hang out. yesterday,
Yeah.
and we're like, "Hey, check this out." And we
Hey,
watched,
listen,
like, 40
TLC
minutes.
2 is like the greatest wrestling match
We
I've
watched,
ever
like,
seen.
Maggie and Michael sat on your bed with his back against the wall. Maggie sat like straight up in front of Michael, and then they both just like probably watched YouTube, and we were probably really into it. Like, oh my goodness, look at that guy just got hit with the freaking steel chair. Like, oh my goodness, did you see Edge throw Bubba Ray the steel chair, and then Christian just bashed him with the steel chair? Wow, like this is so intense. He went through a table, and Maggie is probably like, I came here to play games.
The other thing is I don't have any board games anymore.
Yeah, I know, but it's funny. Regardless of whether or not you had board games, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I had.
Real quick, I'm sorry, Maggie. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm sure that they didn't have the worst time they've ever had.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine it was super interesting for them. So thanks for being troopers, guys. I appreciate it. It feels good to let my friends allow me to show them stuff I'm into.
Yeah,
because
totally.
For as good of a talker as I am, I try and be pretty introverted about like the stuff I really like.
Mm-hmm.
And I try and talk to as many people as I can about it, but I'm always scared that I'm going to get judged.
What a loser.
Huh, you like video games? Yeah, everyone likes video games. It's 2018. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Huh, you like comic books? Marvel's like the best-selling property in years. Shut up, dude. Who are you? My name's Derek.
Being a nerd is in.
So, there's a really cool College Humor video where it's nerds versus jocks.
I've seen it.
And the standpoint for the jocks is the same as the nerds, but the standpoint of the jocks is, nah, dude, nerd stuff is in. The truly subversive stance is to take a classical sports fan role.
Right.
College Humor lately, awful.
Right.
They occasionally hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
They crush it.
Yeah. Do you want to play music?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. So yeah, my band for today, our music spotlight is a band I've been listening to since I was 13. My brother showed me them way back in the day. No.
Oh, your
super
brother?
good.
Cool.
That's twice you've done that to me on this show. You're muted for the rest of the show. You're muted for the rest of the You're done for.
Oh, man.
Imagine if that's how it was.
If I just made you mad and then you just cut my mic, I just like watched you.
Kind of a little angry.
I shouldn't have said that. Oh man, I like.
Anyway, they're called the Wonder Years. They're really, really good. They're a great example of what I consider to be new age pop punk, in that it's still like good sad boy stuff, but like
yeah, that's what you call it yesterday. You called it sad boy pop punk. That's what you called it yesterday.
Yeah. So we're starting off today with a song called "There There." It's a song about like being out of touch with your girlfriend. But it's a cute song. It big sad. All right, here's "There There" by the Wonder Years. When we come back, we'll say our usual final words. And I just want to say, by the way, I'm sorry there was no Dungeons and Dragons yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys know about that show. We do a Thursday show. We'll get to the plug for that towards the end. But we didn't do it yesterday, so I apologize. Anyway, here's "There There" by the Wonder Years off of the album The Greatest Generation. And that's it.
You were in the parking lot earlier. That's how.
I was watching The Office. It was topical, I think. It related. I'm like, wow, something that happened made me want to watch the CPR scene.
Are you CPR certified?
Yeah. Not anymore.
No?
Does it expire?
Yeah,
Yeah, not anymore.
I am.
Cool.
I am till June.
Oh no, I totally am. Because
no,
we had that CPR class in gym less than like a year ago.
Yeah. No. Junior year.
Was that junior year?
Yeah. So, I got.
No, it
mine
wasn't. I did it
through
with
the
Megan.
park-
There's no way.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was definitely last year. Anyway, I don't trust myself to do it. Anyway, continue. Something about the Park District.
I think it's a cool song to close out a show with.
Sure, it's a good outro.
No, I've got my CPR certification till August of next year.
Cool.
I still have my food handler's license till I think October of next year.
Okay.
So hire me, Five Guys.
I've got my food handler's license and my ServSafe manager license for 4 years.
So you're now legally able to manage any restaurant, right?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, legally, yes.
You always could, but now you have the credentials to like be approved for
Yeah,
it.
if I
Anyway,
yeah, whatever, go ahead.
we're running out of time.
Yeah, go ahead.
You like those songs?
Yeah, I do actually. So part of you had me stop what I was doing to like, hey, check this part out. And that last song caught me well. Like,
Yeah, hey, thanks.
Caught me in stride. Yeah.
It's got these nice little ukulele chords
Right.
through the whole song.
Yeah.
And then the horns hit and you're like, "Hey!"
fun.
I sang that song in a Jewel Osco 3 years ago with this girl Ashney that my friend was really into. And she was really excited that someone else knew the Wonder Years, and
Cool.
I was really excited that someone else knew the Wonder Years.
Heck yeah.
Anyway, let's close out the show.
Yeah.
It's Friday. As always, everyone be safe over the weekend. 4th of July is coming up. We'll talk about that next week for sure.
Mhm.
But I just want everyone to know, be safe, be careful,
Have fun, but be silly, but have fun.
keep your head on straight.
Yep.
If anyone's drinking and driving, don't get in the car. If people are on drugs and trying to drive, don't let them drive. It's just,
Keep your head on straight.
keep your head on straight. All right, kiddos. We got a couple promos, and then there's a Gorilla song that's going to come on a little bit. I've been James Nazarowski.
I've been Finn Warren, and hi, Dad.
We're the Grizzly Den. I'll catch you guys around.
So yeah.
For 2 hours each Monday, 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock with myself, James Jefferson, covering everything from medieval combat to relationship advice to pro sports.
I don't know about that, James. Medieval combat is too out of its time. Also, you shouldn't trust relationship advice from us. It's Cedar Sanchez.